and I've learned like, you know, how to keep my tomatoes last longer, and that my marriage is rotten.
And the can only fix one.
That's right. And the tomato thing worked, so shit. Dude, that makes me laugh. It gives me joy to see you laugh. I can't believe that joke caught you off guard. Did you get into like performance early on, or when did you start?
Yeah, I got into performance in high school through theater and stuff, and also through Dungeons and Dragons. That's performance based on Dungeons and Dragons. I think it really. I think role playing is playing a character, right?
Okay.
And I was one of those kids who in high school would go to LARPs and cons and walk around as a vampire and play games of paper rock scissors to see who won the fight.
Right.
All that wacky shit. Walking around in a park, get surrounded by the cops because they think you're doing something weird. And you are, it's just not dangerous. Yeah, so that's how I got into performance in high school. I mainly did theater because I wanted to paint boxes. I never wanted to be the star, but then I got kind of hooked and addicted to, reactions and
Right.
the creative outlet of it all.
Now, do you hire like an actor to act a bunch of different roles in the sketch, or when you're casting, are you specifically looking for, this is the character I want for this?
So I do primarily live sketch rather than video sketch.
Who shows up?
At festivals, a lot of people.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. Okay.
We had a decent little following in Charlotte. There was kind of the same people who go to conventions and things like that. Sketch tends to bring in like a nerdier crowd.
So there's a whole thing in comedy that I don't even know about, and I've been doing comedy for 87 years, and I don't even know that there's
87.
Like there's there's sketch group. Like, do you guys ever do? Eric was telling me you have a great show called Thunderstood, which is a one man show.
That is my solo sketch show, yes, but a lot of people would just call it a one-man show.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just did Denver, didn't you?
Yeah, just did the Rise Comedy Festival out in Denver. I run a Bluetooth clicker and a queue program to go whenever. It used to be, when I first started doing it, I had a DVD and everything was timed out. And if people laughed too long, I would be like, no, stop it.
And did you have to
I had to
create?
remap.
Did you have to create any tech to make your tech work the way you want it to work in your show?
Yes, I had to, remap basically a PowerPoint clicker so that it would spacebar through. I had to take apart a little robot bear with a try me now button, and
Right.
cues in that I rewired for this remote hookup so I could time his dialogue.
This show sounds great.
It's weird, man. It's,
I love it. It's I've seen it probably almost a dozen times, I think.
We were just watching too earlier. A Doritos commercial, a Super Bowl Doritos commercial.
Yeah.
So, first of all, when the snowman says "worth it," that's
Right.
a great line. Obviously, that's the great line. Now, tell me, were you working at an ad agency, or what? What's the story
So,
of that?
Doritos does have this background of crowdsourcing commercials.
Getting everybody do their work for 'em?
Yeah. So, yep. So I was after their whole big Super Bowl kind of competitions, they started this Legion of the Bold platform, and I was the #1 contributor on that. So basically, they sourced the script, so I wasn't actually in the production.
Oh, you didn't write it and do it all?
I mean, I wrote it, but I wasn't there for the actual CG and all that with the snowman.
Oh, you didn't get the fun of being on set while they're making it?
No. Or the money that those actors got from
Yes.
the national spot. So
So they basically sent out a thing to be like, all right, everybody submit your writing, and now we own that.
yeah.
Wow. Now after that, because you produce, and to me that's oh, that's so worth it because it's the exposure and the chance to do it, and they'll do my thing, and so I would imagine you're super excited by it, and then once it's over and you're like, wait a minute,
I mean, once they bought it from me basically,
Right.
and then once they made it a national, they did give me kind of a a healthy residual
Okay, cool,
check
cool.
That's a
after the
good
fact,
word.
just out of like,
Free Doritos.
Now,
being
does
nice.
that does
I have had a lot of free
Yeah.
Doritos. A lot. They just like would send me boxes occasionally.
Yeah, this is interesting to me. Now, when you make an award-winning sort, or I don't know if it's award, but it's the #1 commercial that they.
It's a Super Bowl
source.
commercial.
Yeah, it's a
But,
Super
so
Bowl.
that one wasn't
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah. That one was a national, spot. They aired for the new
Still.
product. We were a semifinalist in that Super Bowl competition.
So you've done a number of these. You've done a few. Like when you say you're the #1 contributor, you kept making them.
I did, yeah, because I kept making money, and then when you were high enough in that kind of platform, they would actually reach out to you and kind of hire you
Yeah.
for individual work that you weren't in a contest setting. And so like
Of course, that's what I meant. Like once they start seeing, wow, this guy produces quality
Yeah.
on a pretty good percentage, maybe on a better percentage than the ad agency that we're paying millions of dollars to.
Right.
So do they come to you, or do you start also like, do ad agencies be like, wait a minute, we need to get this guy, look at this.
So the ad agency that Doritos contracts is very clever because they're the ones who actually sets up the Legion of the Bold platform.
Okay.
So they're, it is Doritos comes to them, then they come to me as kind of a freelance. And so most of those like other things, national commercial spots are rare because of the amount of money, especially a brand like Doritos spends
Right.
on that. But I've done a lot of like social media kind of, one little like piece of content that I'll make that, I get a couple $1,000s for. Took me an afternoon, which was cool.
I like that name. It sounds like you have displeased the Legion of the Bold.
Yes.
Like-
Can you imagine, like the office of this ad agency, and their copywriters or whatever they're called, their ad writers are sitting around with pitching ideas, and like the guy's just like, you know what, this is. You fuck all of you. All right. How much are you making? How much are you making? I can go on the internet and find fucking 10 kids who are going to write me better jokes than I pay you guys every. How much did you spend at that conference last month, Johnson? You're fucking gone, okay?
There's so many desperate comedians in Greensboro. They'll pay me to write it.
Is there a frustration of starting over and being sort of one of the low men on the totem pole, so to speak, as a stand-up versus where you've been winning awards and doing shows and
Not career-wise, like not in terms of community. Like I like having no expectations
Right.
from other people. I have that thing where I can't accept a compliment because like someone tells me I had a good stand-up set. I'm like, no, I've had good comedy sets. They
Right.
feel different.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
see people have good stand-up sets, and I am used to comparing myself to
the top notch.
yeah, and
Right.
I know I'm not there, and I have to try to like stop myself from giving advice to people. I'm like, my advice, this is dog. Who should listen to me?
Every one of us should
right.
listen to you. You have way more stage experience. You also have directed, so there's something to that eye that sees it a little different than the way you see it. That is like, you're not. It wouldn't. I don't know you, but I assume it wouldn't be like in a critical way. It'd be like in a stand-up way of like, hey, have you thought about trying it like this and this and that? That's what I think makes all of us better at stand-up. That's my frustration in writing on television. It's like in the room, it's like, hey guys, that joke's dog shit. We need to fix that. And there's a huge resistance to not having something ready before you say something negative. You should have a joke to replace it. And I'm like, there's fucking 7 of us.
Right.
That we all know that joke is terrible. Let's brainstorm and write a better one. This is an O.J. Simpson joke. Please, let's fucking replace this.
Right, and so getting you, I guess that's what's holding me, like feeling that comfortability. I don't have that in a sketch group. I will say,
Right.
that part was great. You got to fucking fix that.
Yes.
Right? But in stand up, I don't feel comfortable doing that yet.
Okay. What about you? You feel comfortable doing that to people?
Yeah. I got a whole different process though.
You're one of the most supportive comics that I've known since I've been
Okay.
here.
Well,
To me, like,
I appreciate
if
that.
seriously, man, do you not feel like you're that?
I'm supportive of the people I like.
Okay.
I'm not just supportive though.
What happens to the people you don't like?
Just don't know.
They
about
don't
them.
they don't hear the
Just-
magic.
they
Like
just-
you can carry a room. You can change the crowd for me at Idiot Box. If I go there and you're there, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool.
Well, 'cause you're
because your
funny.
laughter can make it's like you give credibility to the jokes, and then the crowd's like, oh, okay, JD likes this guy. Like, you know what I mean? And it helps. Plus, you have it's a genuine sort of
For-
joy that
for
you're
some
getting.
people,
that spreads.
sometimes his laugh does get a bigger laugh than the joke.
Yes.
If it's funny, I'm gonna. I maybe Trendy told me this. I don't know. Trendy told me so much. I just give everything to Trendy. But it's like if some shit's funny, then I'm gonna. And I don't care if people don't like you. I don't care if you mostly annoying. I don't care. Like I gotta give it up for the joke because then if you, I know how I'm thinking about right now, but if you hella annoying and you finally get off one joke and then nobody laughs because we just don't like you, then I feel like the comedy club kind of failed.
Right.
I'm like we at least got to let them know that one worked.
Right. Write more of those.
Yeah, like if you keep doing that, we'll stop making fun of you and shit. Like, if you keep because look, okay, Lil Wayne said this one time. This is we're getting kind of crazy, but Lil Wayne, he was talking about being a good rapper. He was like, all the words are inside of you. So if you're bad at rapping, like that's on you. Like you can say anything I said, and vice versa. You just got to make yourself say it. So same thing with comedy. I'm like, you've got the potential to be funny. Just be funny.
Right.
You're just getting used to not being funny and just not quitting. So you're just doing that instead. But if you're funny, I'm gonna laugh at you. If you're not funny, I'm gonna laugh at you.
And
Because,
don't be not funny.
You need to know. You need to know that was trash.
Yeah, and don't be not funny with the same trash for 6 months.
Exactly.
Like,
Like,
you know-
I was trash for a long time, but I was always different with it. Like I wasn't just trash the same way every week. I was like, if I was trash, it's because you saw me try and do something completely different. But I just never wanted to just go up there and do the same bullshit.
You said like 2 weeks ago that you're gonna try one new thing until it doesn't work.
Yeah,
Right.
just keep trying. Just keep trying.
What's your thing you're trying right now?
The thing now is the hand towel.
What do you mean?
The hand towel on stage.
You're bringing the hand towel up
Yes,
on stage?
I turned 30. I earned it. What I want to do so bad is sit down, but I can't bring myself to do it. I
dude.
want to sit down like a motherfucker.
Dude, I used to sit down a lot, and then I got a lot of crap for it. I tried to add energy. I've kind of done a lot of that too, and I've sort of gotten back to where I sit down a little bit more. But I found like first of all, because I have my own anxiety on stage, so I'm moving.
Yeah.
But when you sit, like just think about like you think, oh, you can't sit, but like Cosby sat during himself. Chappelle sits there. I found that
These are all monsters, though.
there's something to like you can still be animated but in this space, right? And it almost makes you more so like you're a little bit or me, I end up getting a little bit more expressive because it's like confined to here and I don't know, you can do it, man. And just sit down and you just chill against the chair or whatever. There is a little bit of but
That's
you
how
start
most
to find,
stories were told. They were told sitting down originally, right? The great storytellers of all time sat down.
But see, my
they
thing-
sat down so much that now when people started standing up, they called it stand-up.
Here's my thing.
Yes.
Here's my thing. If somebody hasn't sat down ever, like I don't sit down when I do stand up. So if I sit down, people are like, oh shit, here it fucking go. he about to say some shit, and I ain't got nothing. I just want to try it.
Right.
I just want to try sitting down.
it also makes me have better talking to the mic more
Yep.
clearly because I have a tendency to get down here and wander around and turn my back on the crowd. You know what I mean? But if you're just, I don't know, there's something like swinging your feet, like whatever. It's a little, it is sort of, and I found it like brings them in, you know?
Yeah.
It's a confidence move.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable with it, it feels confident because like, oh yeah, he's comfortable enough that he doesn't feel like he's gonna have to run out of here at any
Right.
second.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can
Right,
still
like,
get going.
I can still get going.
Yeah.
But you might trip over the stand at
Yes.
the second.
Yeah. But like Chappelle, when like I went and watched Chappelle a few times, and he's sitting, but he does some sitting, but he also does some of that sort of leaning against, like leaning, and but his is like, and then when he hits a punch, he does that. Instead of having the cigar burn like George Burns or whatever, he does the and he gets up like at the punch,
Yeah.
smacks his leg with the microphone, and sort of does that walk around sort of like, and it's interesting how much it changes the energy when he stands up and blah, 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 and does that and sort of embraces the laugh and creates the laugh. And then he also creates energy to where he can start being like that. And then he gets on little runs to make his point. And then sort of that run ends and then he chills back down and he starts smoking his cigarette. And then it's like it refocuses down and it allows him to do a lot of that running, like that, he does a lot of talking with no jokes, you know what I mean, until he gets to the jokes.
So do you think it would be harder to do for shorter sets? Just because it does, like when someone sits down, it feels like you're going to be there for a little while.
Yeah,
Right?
Maybe,
you're
yeah.
getting comfortable.
Yeah.
So doing that open mic is like.
I did it at Laughing Skull
It's just
last time.
man. I was sitting there, bro. I remember one time. Shout out Wolfgang Hunter. I remember one time I watched Wolfgang take a water break during a 4-minute set. That shit wasn't great. It was not good. He just started, but it was the most hilarious thing I seen in my entire. He brought up a full bottle of water and took a break at exactly the 2-minute mark, and it was hilarious. Nobody was laughing. It was just like it's like what AJ think. I brought the water. I gotta drink it. Or I look stupid.
And I think the audience, like when you do see an object, you want it to be used in some
Yes.
way. It's
Yeah,
that
it's
whole
true.
Chekhov's gun kind of idea
You
in
seen the
theater.
dude?
Like,
It's this dude that I don't know if he's still around, but he'll like bring the guitar up on stage and never play it.
Right.
I did that.
That was you.
No, I mean, I have.
I've seen that. Yeah.
But that's all. That'll bother somebody. Like, what's he about to do with this? And
Right.
he just never utilizes
it creates an innate tension as soon as
Yeah.
you see like something, especially if it's a big object, right?
Mm.
But generally in comedy, at some point, we do want to break that tension,
Yeah.
right? I've built like a mic harness because of my schedule. I still feel uncomfortable like holding a microphone in my hand, but I've just been worried to actually try it because
Well,
I don't want to get
No, you
shit
do
for
that,
it.
bro. We need
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I remember the first time I seen somebody not use a microphone was Ricky Gervais on his like.
I mean, a lot of the European specials,
special- yeah.
they're always
Titus
have
has always
don't-
done that too, with
Yeah.
it, and it allows him to be more expressive with his hands and do all the
Exactly.
stuff you're talking about from
Yeah.
theater and sketch, right? So you just, even something like this,
yeah, lapel mics.
they don't work maybe as good as there's some, I've seen somebody that has sort of they wear it like a collar thing.
And all those things are great, but you have to be able to hook into their board. So what I built is a rig to use whatever mic
Just
the club has.
Oh, okay.
That's funny as shit.
That's just like attached to me. I like modified this GoPro harness.
Please do that. Please do that.
Bring your own mic like it's a bowling alley, like you bring your own ball. Like
Right.
that.
Yeah, I think it's whatever happens to white men as they approach 40 and lose sense of identity and are like, I need something. I can't afford a Tesla. Let's just.
Turtlenecks.
Have you,
Turtlenecks.
have you tried? Did you ever try stand up before?
I'll say yes, but it was always character stand-up. Like I did it, not ventriloquy, but I did it as a puppet. I've done it as a Klingon, Star Wars character.
That's way harder.
Yeah.
It's not for me, like
No,
because
that's so much harder than just talking.
well, because then the character becomes initial premise that the audience sees as soon as you step up.
Okay.
But you have to explain that character immediately. You just have a couple jokes that do, or
Yeah,
you
just right up the front. It's the same thing. Like if you have something crazy noticeable about you, you do have to like knock it out at the start.
Yeah.
So, and then you get to run with it and play in that world. So you get all these extra like parody jokes that that would otherwise just be references. You get to
Right.
actually have a point to like kind of make it a satire through
sketch and
whatever.
one-man show stuff could translate quickly to TikTok. You know what I mean? As far as like seems like a great platform for a mind like that.
It could if I could stand TikTok. But I like when I open the app, I just get sensory
Too much.
overload.
It's too much.
Yeah. And it's I guess
It sucked me in, dude. I've learned. All these different hacks you learn. You know what I mean? Plus, it's like then you start to see what you like, and it shows you. It's replaced television, slipping through the television for me. You know what I mean? And I've learned like, how to keep my tomatoes last longer, and that my marriage is rotten.
and the, can only fix one.
That's right. And the tomato thing worked, so shit. Dude, that makes me laugh. It gives me joy to see you laughing. I can't believe that joke caught you off guard.
Oh. That's funny as shit.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think another hindrance I have is similar to, we were talking about how some of those like bad performance habits are good in stand-up. And I think the same is true in TikTok. Like, because you're supposed to have this kind of conversational, authentic stuff. I've done so much video work. I hate not setting up my lights. I
Right.
hate not using a better camera. hate all those things.
You traveled with the props. You're gonna use
right,
them.
I'm gonna use them.
But the thing is, man,
but they also take so much time.
yes,
Yeah.
but you can see the quality. Like that, most of that stuff you think is just like a person with no light to, but it isn't all that. Some of the good
not,
stuff, the
right.
stuff that's consistent, I think is
And
a
this
little bit higher quality.
Consistent and high quality tends to be a team that you don't see.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't have that.
You do. You have the ability to write the original things continually, as opposed and the history of doing it so that even if you're just writing fresh, you're going to write things that are 50% more funny than almost everybody.
All
just
right, I'm
throwing
getting
at
on
the wall.
TikTok. You sold me. I'm gonna be a golden god there.
I think
It's designed for you to blow
I
up.
think I'm trying to convince all these guys just from watching it. I'm an old man. I'm on TikTok just because I'm running out of time. But it could help. It helps. I think that it like gives you that audience potentially that then allows you to do the stand up, and actually now people want to come see your sketch. Not that they don't, but you know what I mean. Like they want to come. They're specifically hunting you out to come see those things. You know, and you already have what sounds like to me is like hours of material in one form or another that then you could. A lot of these TikTok people, they sell at a club and they get there and they're just them going, hey, who wants to take a picture with me?
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, obviously,
Right.
but they don't have the experience and the quality of stuff that you already have.
I'm also terrified of success. That because if all those things happen and I'm still not happy, that's gonna be a day of personal reckoning.
Well, the key is just to be happy and do the stuff. I'm saying as a creative outlet, I think we haven't tapped into. I was telling him a couple days ago, like I remember when he was doing his podcast 10, 12 years ago, and you even like, or me and my buddy James were trying to start, and it was like, this is already past. No, it's over,
Right.
and it was not over,
Right.
right? And same with I think it's just getting started, and I mean, the cool thing is there's whole niches. Like if you just do puppetry, you just have you have stuff that you do on your channel that's all puppetry. All the puppetry people now, they don't have to go look it out. It finds them, right? And then you don't even have to make that your only thing. And then the other thing is whatever these sketches or these creative. I just think. I'm telling you to do it, and I'm not doing it. Because I'm the same way. I don't need another platform that I'm told I'm not funny on. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be rejected on yet another means in stand-up.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to tell you you're not funny. I think they're going to tell you you're not successful.
Yes, yes, that's
Do
true.
as Tom said.
No, the key
not
is
as Tom says.
Instagram. I just take photos of the shows, no audio, no. People think I'm killing it.
Yes.
I look amazing out here. Yeah, just Instagram, man.
The
Instagram
illusion
everything.
of Instagram.
No
Everyone's
reels,
killing
no
it on Instagram.
audio fucks everything up. Just me, microphone, crowd.
Right.
I killed it.
They all came from me.
Like I get a picture of you right now. You put it on Instagram, like you were.
Yeah,
killing
right now
it
I'm doing the podcast. I'm out here on money.
Yeah. I'm out here making
You're not
money.
doing the podcast.
That's Instagram, man.
Let me get a picture of you just for that. Because you know, I mean, if you're killing it, that means my show's doing well.
Everybody's doing well. Well, you talking about the whole interesting thing for comedy. I'm not interested. You just listen. You just have to be aloof with some punchlines. I'm
Aloof.
telling you, man. I figured it out a long time ago. I ain't want to tell nobody the secret because I was like, then niggas gonna get in my spot. You got to be aloof, man. The moment.
What do
I'm
you
gonna
mean
say-
by aloof?
I just when COVID happened, it's like I was caring about so much stuff, and like comedy was my money. Like that's how I was making. And I wasn't like selling out. Obviously, I wasn't even getting consistent feature work like that, but I was making enough money to pay all my bills, and that was just consuming me. I was worried about so much shit. And then the moment COVID happened, everything kind of shut down. I had to reset, and I was just worried about my family and my friends. I feel like I got way funnier. And I'm not putting in the work I used to, but I just feel like 30 times funnier than I ever felt for in my entire life. And even then, like
You were already pretty funny, so 30 times more is pretty good.
I try hard.
Is it material-wise, like what you're talking about, or you just feel like no matter what you talk about, you're a little bit more comfortable in your own skin and
material?
mind?
I feel more comfortable talking about more stuff because I'm not worried about is this gonna work or is this gonna.
Because you got a girl that loves you at home, and you
Yeah,
got your
I
bank. Your bank has some money in it.
Yeah, so it's kind
it's
of
like-
like I got my girl, I got my cast, I got my money. So I'm like, what else was I trying to get from comedy besides these things. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe a truck, but like I kept putting my happiness behind comedy. Like once I do X, Y, and Z in comedy, then I can afford all these things.
I did that for years.
You know what I'm saying? But now I got all the stuff I want, and I'm still enjoying comedy. I thought I might quit. Like, okay, now I got the things. I don't got to do comedy anymore. I still enjoy it, and now I'm enjoying it.
Can we
the
talk
most.
about that a little bit? Because you mentioned happiness. He just mentioned happiness. There was a thing that you brought up yesterday. Happiness in general, happiness in life, happiness in art. Is that a thing? How do you...
Yeah, we're as artists, we're supposed to be miserable, struggling artists, right?
That was my assumption of it. No.
We have to have a darkness, and it's
But
like, I
then-
need this or I'm going to kill myself in the parking lot.
But then you meet Steve Lesser. And I think Steve's hilarious, and he's not a super dark dude.
Right.
And then he's the one that told me, he's like, you don't gotta be dark to be funny. Like you can, he told me personally, he said, you find the funny in like the things that you like and the things that you really enjoy. And I'd much rather do that than like be depressed and hate shit.
Yes.
Like even with my suicide joke, it has there's a solution at the end. Like it's like, this is how you fight against suicide. I don't want to end anything on just like a negative note.
What's that joke?
It's the I'm suicidal, but I procrastinate a lot. That's just the whole joke. I'm suicidal. That's part of my body. That's part of my being. But I also procrastinate like nobody's business. So if I ever get a suicidal thought, I just
Put it on your to-do list.
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow, and just keep doing it tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
But I just try to tell people like you can fight against suicide with your own personal character traits if you try hard enough. Just
Right.
find something that you enjoy more than.
Had you ever in your life tried to fix your procrastination? Like you're like, I need to work on.
Never, not once.
That's
I'll put it
good.
off.
It's always worked well for me. Like writing papers and shit like that. Like I got a 10-page paper due in the morning. I'm gonna start on it at 6, and just bang
So
it
you
out.
never thought, God, I got to quit procrastinating. You've always just
Never.
liked it.
Never. I kind of enjoy it. I really enjoy it. I don't like with stuff I like. Yeah, even then, like I won't procrastinate, but I'll just do stuff. Like it's just I've been doing things on time. But something I don't really care about or I don't want to do, last minute, like shows.
Like today when you came in 3 minutes
Nah,
late.
I've been looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this. But like shows and shit like that, like I'll find out a lot of times like the day before, a couple days before I'm doing the show, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get ready. But like, yeah, for stuff I like,
Yeah, I got a show tonight, and I'm then like, I'm getting texts from like the guy who booked it, like all along, like, oh, this is how many tickets we got sold.
Yeah.
So I just like, yeah, cool. You know what I mean? Like,
You forgot about it.
No. But yeah, it's like, and then it's like, what time are you leaving for the show? Like, I don't know. I'll be there before the show starts.
How long did it
Like,
take me to get there?
what do you mean? There's a check-in at an hour before. When's the show? So I just,
That's for new comics.
Yeah.
If you tell me I got to be there 45 minutes before your show starts, you can go fuck yourself.
I hate check-ins. Is that a thing? Like, I used to be
You
a
said your
thing.
call time is blah blah blah, which is whatever. That's their thing. But you know what? That gives me time to get there, chill, and then worry about the show I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Like I've been trying to, in my mind, build a new show, which but you can't just go up
You
there.
need a feature?
It's Ty from that used to run the Winston room.
okay.
There's a room
All
in Matthews and something. I guess.
Gotcha.
I love a call time. I love.
What's wrong with
I
you?
love being 3
That's
hours
show business,
early.
baby.
I hate that shit.
I if I can't just be sitting in the like I want again like with props and everything. I've used to like in the college tours like we had to show up 3 hours before. We had whole light rigs and scaffolding we had to set up because otherwise a lot of spaces just weren't gonna work for sketch. And so that carries into me like instant like I get so anxious if I can't just be in the space.
Yeah.
Ahead of time.
I remember when I started and I'd go to the show and I'd be there half hour early and they'd be like, well, we haven't heard from the headliner yet. He's not. I'm like, how can you do comedy and not be there? Like, how are you just walking in after the show starts? It's so disrespectful. Like, how are you not like, and now I'm like, now I'm more like, okay, when's the show? Okay, that means it's going to start half an hour after that and blah, blah, blah.
How do they treat y'all? I mean, I guess you're a big stand-up, you're a big, sketch guy. So like they treat you like nice when you show up for call time? Or they treat you like shit?
So at colleges, it was like ends of the spectrum. Right.
They were over the top. We could love to have you here. Yeah.
Like pampered, take me back with, filled green room with snacks. They'd pay for our meal at the restaurant and everything and like take us out and around. Or like you didn't know who to talk to. They had like the TVs with games on next to the space you're supposed to perform. We're
Yes.
like, hey, can we
Same
turn
things.
these? Can we turn these off? And they're like, no, we had bingo here a week ago and it went great. And I'm like, yeah, comedy is a little bit different of an environment than bingo.
Right.
So
They treat you nice when you show up for call time?
When I think of call time, I think of show business, not stand up, right? You know what I mean? Like call time is like when we were on Miss Pat, like this was our
There's a
call
sheet.
time.
Yeah.
There's a sheet that comes out. There's a sheet that comes out that comes out first. That's like the pre-call sheet, you know what I mean? And then the call sheet comes out to kind of confirm all that. And then, I like to see what time to be there, and
Okay.
but almost always it'd be, and when you're talking about all the like there's whole departments all working together, and it's just you're just a small cog writing, adding jokes, you know what I mean?
And then, but I can't get out of that headspace for stand-up because then I show up without a bunch of props or anything. I'm like, all right, now what do I do with my body?
Oh, okay.
Nothing. Go outside.
Yeah.
So I show up, and then I get in a panic of what jokes am I going to do? I got nothing, you know what I mean? And then I start making a little list, and I'm sitting in the back of the open mic writing down like, okay, he was maybe I can get into my thing like that, you know what I mean? Or like, here's my things I want to try, and then I get up there and it's like I'll do some of them not, But I get that anxiety and panic all right in the worst part for me is that 15 minutes before I got to go up. I'm like, that's when I'm like, I got nothing, And I would love to just be there and be like, oh, come on, it's time for me? Okay, I'm going to go up and be hilarious.
But remember when that lady was going to jump off the thing, right? And
You can't just say that.
Yeah, you gotta give some context to that.
Real quick, some context. We're standing outside of an open mic. It's like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. We're outside of the Idiot Box, and there's a parking garage not that far away. We start hearing voices. I see a lady stand up like she's going to jump.
I heard someone say, help.
And I say, no! And I start walking over. That's where JD's picking up, just so you know, for context.
You know that my initial reaction would be to yell jump, because I think that would be the funny thing to say there.
Right.
And I immediately know that that's an
Tom
awful
Simmons
thing.
and Trendy would have been involved because that's who they are. Man, you went home. I saw a lady about to. In my mind, she was about to kill herself or land and eat everybody. That's what I'm thinking. If I was a siren, I would be like, yeah, help me.
Siren.
Help me. And then just jump off and gobble everybody up. Because they're
Skinwalker.
idiots. It's midnight and I'm screaming for help. I got a cell phone. Anyway.
But
I'm just saying.
I didn't go home.
No, Jenny.
I got sent away to preserve my innocence.
That's even better.
What do you mean?
That's even better.
You got sent away.
Jenny was like, AJ, put his money away. And he was
And
like,
I was
yes,
like,
ma'am.
Oh, good, a task.
Okay.
Because I was like, I know I
Jenny
can't
knew
do anything.
It was about to go left. Like in her mind, she was like, this could go real bad real quick. If AJ sees this, it'll be a thing. So
If AJ sees this, then I have two Erics instead of an AJ.
I got two Erics. And I ran to my car.
What happened?
Yeah,
I
JD
ran-
disappeared.
I ran to my car. I
The
ran to my
people helped her.
Seriously, you didn't want to see what happened, or you weren't?
No, that's why I was like, I ain't never said this yet, but it ain't, maybe it's not funny to me yet or whatever, but I'll never be an amazing stand-up because I always choose the safe thing. Like, good stand-up got stories and the tales and adventures, and Kevin Hart getting chased by an emu and shit like that. That would never happen to me. I would see an emu from like a mile away, like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
And then just go back inside. Like, I'm always, that's a big ass roost. Like, I would never put myself, I don't like to be near a story. Crowded places. If it's a food truck festival, I'll go to the trucks that niggas ain't going to, like on the outskirts of the event. So in case I gotta get out, I don't want to be in the heart of nothing. Every time I see anything that could potentially be something, it's not for me.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast, because somebody without stories ain't for me.
I'm just saying, you ain't gotta be Trundy's super interesting. super interesting and hilarious. I think you hilarious. You might just want to drink your chai tea and, you know, watch your TV and just think of hilarious stuff at home. It don't take away from you being funny, though.
Right.
Because if you do that, then I'm going to start feeling bad when I'm at home just playing video games with my cat on my lap, not thinking about comedy at all. I'm like, damn, I got to be more interested. I got to do some more shit.
So I figured out why you're supported for everybody.
But just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just whatever you got to do to be funny, I want you to do that.
I love that.
Whatever your process is, do that.
That should be on the door above the idiot.
That should be.
All right, I'm getting the wrap up signal from Eric, so we gotta wrap this up.
All right.
You know?
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Lot
Thanks.
of fun.
I didn't get to be dumbest guy in the room today. Did
I
I?
think you did it.
I did it.
Yeah, you nailed it.